Okay, I'm going to give you a little tour of the homestead here. This has been in my family since the 1800s, and I'm just going to give you a quick tour. My grandmother grew up here. This was her this was her house, and it's had to been modified and rebuilt a few times, but this is the old outhouse, the original. We've done a few upgrades, obviously, but it's the old two-seater. It's got the 2 seats in it, and we did add a little trail this year. And then over here was the old farm equipment. This is where they had their dairy, and this is the old pig pen right here. They used to keep their pigs and chickens in the old dairy, and the horse shade was right there. You can see the corrals and the farm equipment. That's the hay rake and the hay baler and the plow. And this is my grandmother's old house. Don't mind my truck. Like I said, we've done some upgrades. And there's a highway that's come in over here since this was here 130-40 years ago, but it's okay, I don't mind the highway. There's the old fire pit, the old cabin, and you're going to hear a chirping smoke alarm, but I'm just going to walk around the house, show you the property out there. That's where the cows like to live during the warmer times of year. One of my favorite places, honestly. The views here, the nighttime skies here, they are just incredible. That was my grandma's cousin's house, you can see over there. And more of my favorite mountains. All the way up this valley is cabins, little old houses, old homesteads that was in my grandma's family. We've had to replace this sidewall. That's the connex where we keep our tractor and farm equipment. And there used to be right here when I was a kid, where the grass slopes down, there used to be a cream cellar where my grandma used to keep right here underneath where I'm walking. There was a cave, like we could climb down in this old cave, and they kept their cream and their milk down in there from their dairy cows. And old stuff here. I'm gonna go inside the house. Hopefully you can see. I got a fire going right now because I'm burning some oil off of the stove. One of my family members likes to oil it and makes it kind of a mess for some of us. But inside, got some stuff here. My grandma's curtains, the old Pioneer stove, which I actually have used to cook with. And you can hear I've got a fire going right now. And we've got the old dish towels. That's the stove I cook with the propane. We've added these lamps. This is my great grandpa. That tree next to the house, he would cut down and bury in rocks because they can't really grow trees here. You can see that's the house there, same house, just without a porch on it. My grandma and her sister and brother and their dog. That would have been a long time ago. This old hutch. The old tables underneath these tablecloths, they're the originals. Old tables. And inside here, that was added for my grandfather, this bathroom. We don't use it much. It's kind of become a way for the mice to get in, and the hot air and cold air gets out pretty easy. 3 beds. It's been this way since my grandma was born. We've definitely upgraded and got some different beds, but this is where we wash our hands in the wash basin. We fill this bucket up with water, and we use that same way they used to. And obviously the doors, we've got the old locks, the old skeleton keys, and kind of neat. We've sheetrocked it, and we have added some stuff, but it's really small. It's really small. So basically, standing in this bathroom, when I was a kid, this bathroom was not here. The wall ended right here, and all you had was this one room. And that's it. That's my grandpa's old hunting hat up there. That is the whole house. And then we just have this little tiny addition back here that we don't claim. It's definitely needs to be worked on. But it's getting smoky because I'm burning off the stove. But just wanted you to have a little tour of this place. We keep our wood pile back here. The cabin has been robbed, looted, burned. It's had to go through a whole lot, but this stove, many times we've had to fire this up at night, get the temperature up, and get some stuff cooking in there. I've cooked crescent rolls and all kinds of cool stuff down inside there. I've made pancakes on here. I just put the old griddle. We keep a griddle right here, and I put that on top of there and heat it all up. But the floors, pretty creaky, pretty old. I've been coming here since I was a little tiny kid, and just hang out on this porch all the time. I like to sit out here. Up here is my grandpa's bridle. I keep that here along with this horseshoeing equipment. It's hard to keep the mice out of these walls. It's really, really hard. We have to put these old, this is probably something my great-grandparents or grandpa did, I don't know. Like I said, most of this cabinet has burnt and they've rebuilt from other old cabins up here, but as long as I can remember, it's been on this same foundation, and it's always been up on rocks. Even when I was a little kid, even when my dad was a little kid, to keep these old green rocks that they stacked it on. And it's just kind of kept the snow and the rain and all that stuff from the winters. It has very harsh winters up here. But I've seen a lot of animals up on these hills and in these meadows. There's my parents out there, my mom and dad out on the side-by-side. Our springs, you can see one of the springs behind them fired up pretty good right now. And these old fences and posts and farms and just some neat stuff. There's a lot of neat history in this valley. As far as you can see, this entire valley at one time, called Bear Valley, was my great-great-great-grandpa John Topham's ranch. And he had over 1,000 cows, and they lived up here year-round. They had one person on winter watch. And when he split it up with his 6 sons, they called it the 6T Ranch. The Topman sons, 6T was for the 6 different boys. And each one of them was given a plot of land and a little old cabin like that one over there. And this one right here. And there's 2 more up the valley that are still standing, and there's 2 more that are not standing. But really neat history here. So this is the ranch. It's called Dodge's Bear Valley Ranch now. My grandfather Dodge saved the ranch from what was left of the ranch from financial problems back in the 50s, and saved it so that it didn't get lost, and we're working our way as much as we can to get some of it back. So anyway, that's the story of the Bear Valley Ranch, and Mama driving around out there, and you've now got a tour of the place. So anyway, I'm going to take a ride out there and see how the springs are doing, but I wanted you to see the cabin that I love so much. Some of my songs have been made up here and written up here and played up here. Have a good day.